Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. So today I am very excited because we have a very special guest with us. We have Dr. Katie Nall, and she is a TED Talk speaker. She has developed her own program, the 40-Day Growth and Prosperity Program, where she kind of came up with her own method called dissolving waffles. And it has nothing to do with the food. It has everything to do with the fears and worries we have surrounding money. And she is going to tell us all about that today. And I cannot wait to dive in. So welcome, Katie.
Thank you so much, Melissa. It is an honor and a privilege to be on your show.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. So why don't you just start by telling us a little bit about yourself and this amazing program that you've developed and how you help women?
So I was a mature adult returning to school to earn my PhD. And what I wanted to do was to help students overcome their fear and anxiety about math. My PhD is in math education. And I found this amazing technique in 2010. And I started trying it out to see if it was going to work, right? And it turned out, Melissa, it worked. And I thought, wow, this is really great. I should probably get trained in it. So as I got trained in it, I realized I really didn't have any idea what I was doing, and it still worked. Since that time, I've been trained in level 1, level 2, level 3 trauma and quantum, which is a whole nother thing. And just recently been awarded as a master trainer. So now I conduct classes on how to dissolve your waffles, dissolving your worries, anxiety, fear, frustration, lethargy, exhaustion, and stress.
I love everything about that statement. That would be great to get rid of all of that.
Mhm.
So now I'm assuming you could really use this in probably multiple areas of your life, but you specifically work with women in dealing with money and finances. Is that correct?
That is one of the big focuses. I've started a mastermind, and we're probably in our 6th or 7th iteration. It's called 40-Day Growth and Prosperity Mastermind. It's so interesting, Melissa, because we have all different ages. I have people who are straight out of college, and then there are people mature like me. And we actually are open to all genders. It is predominantly women, and some of the groups end up being all women. So, it's a different kind of chemistry. And the whole idea, Melissa, is for people to be able to grow and to have prosperity. So, what are the steps that we use? Every morning at 6 a.m. Eastern, everybody gets sent a journal prompt, and they can use it, spend about 8 or 9 minutes a day contemplating, reading it. It's really powerful if people write the journal prompt and write any reflection that they have on it. So every day for 40 days, they get a journal prompt. Once a week, starting at the first day, they get matched with different people in the group. So they end up with what we call a navigation guide. And that navigation guide kind of checks in and says, hey, what day are you on? How's it going? What's happening? And so people end up developing friends. More than one person has said, especially during the pandemic, that having this as a vehicle to be able to meet new people has been amazing. Some people end up being clients, some people end up getting clients. And so it's been a real nice transfer of information. So they get daily journal prompts once a week. They end up with different networking partners. And then the third, and probably the most exciting part, is that twice a week we have Zoom sessions for about 1 hour a day. Either that you can either join the morning session at 11 a.m. Eastern or the evening session at 6 p.m. Eastern. And during those sessions, we talk about our wins, we talk about our challenges, we talk about our reflections on the journal prompts, because some of the journal prompts really make you think. And then we also do the dissolving waffles. This next session that's coming up on March 23rd, it'll be on Tuesdays and Thursdays on March 23rd, starting on March 23rd. I'm actually going to add affirmations, which are different than affirmations. And this will be a very short little voice audio track that people can listen to before they go to sleep. They also have the opportunity to access a bank of scripts to help them with their own personal waffles. So there's a lot to it.
Yeah, it sounds like they get a lot of really personal development from that. And I love that they have to have an accountability partner. That's really cool too.
Yeah, yeah. And you end up getting to know somebody new every time. So there's been some really cool friendships coming out of it. We usually have, I try to have an intuitive in each group too. And so the intuitive gives a spiritual kind of piece, and helps some of us through our bumps.
Yeah, that piece is really important. And a lot of the traditional mainstream finance people don't really think about that. But I always love when I find programs that kind of try to mesh the two together, like the
Mhm.
traditional Western and then the Eastern philosophies, and they kind of make it one. I think that that is always such an exciting kind of program because it kind of covers all of your bases.
Oh, you're so right, Melissa. That holistic approach is what makes a difference. And it's in doing our Dissolving Waffles program that we find out where our blockages are. And the Dissolving Waffles actually eliminates the blockages. We've had, I'll share a few stories. I have permission from the participants to share these stories. We had one lady, it was so funny. From the very beginning, she said, all I want are two part-time jobs, just two part-time jobs. And so we were encouraging her and you can do this, you can do this. And about halfway through, she got her two part-time jobs. And we were so excited for her. Well, about two sessions before we were finished, she said, and I got the beachside property in Nicaragua. And we're like, wait a minute, where did that come from? But she explained to us the steps that she had done, and she had bought and purchased beachside property in Nicaragua, 2 lots away from the Nicaraguan president's beachside residence. And I'm like, whoa, that's amazing. I actually have one person who's been with it from the very beginning, and she won't give it up. She said, every time I'm in the group, I end up finding out something new about myself. She loves the accountability. She loves the journal prompts. And it just really forces people, well, it doesn't force them, but it encourages people to do some journaling. The journal prompts, and it's interesting, Melissa, because we've had people who are devout atheists. We've had people who are very religious and attend their faith community, and we've had people who are spiritual. And it turns out that the prompts do reference God and source and things like that, but people replace the words that are more comfortable for them. And what we found is that in every case, people have been able to earn prosperity. The first time we did it, my friend who did it with me, she's a solopreneur. And when she first did it, in 40 days, she doubled her sustainable monthly income. By the second session, she had so much going on that she had to drop out. She's like, I'm too busy. I can't do this anymore. And she was a devout atheist. So, and it worked for her. Now I'm spiritual. And so I was into it. I was like, this is great. I'm loving this. This is really fantastic. And I'm an employee. So I wasn't quite sure how prosperity was going to come to me because, I've got a fixed income and how's that going to happen? Melissa, within 40 days, within that time slot, not only did I receive unsolicited from me an extra $10,000, which to you may not be a big deal, but to me it was huge.
That'd be a big deal to me.
In 40 days, she received this. And it has a ripple effect too. My husband, God bless him, we've been together, it'll be 48 years this summer. And I have no idea why he's still with me because I'm a terrible cook and an even worse housekeeper, and I have no intention of being rehabilitated. So he doesn't buy into a lot of the stuff that I do, right? But he and I were negotiating on together. We were negotiating on a big project, and I had this price in my head. It's like, okay, this is the price. I'm not going any further. This is my price. So here's my price. And here's what the owners wanted. Well, there was a gap, and the amount of the gap was sizable. It was like $9,000. And I'm like, I'm not, that's my limit. That day that we were supposed to make a decision, my husband got a check from a client that stopped seeing him 11 years prior for almost that amount of money. And it was like,
Wow.
okay, so we were able to move forward on the project. So it's got a ripple effect, which is pretty cool. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
It just kind of is a testament to the work you're doing, which is amazing.
Well, it's not my work, right? I'm a vessel, I allow it to come through. So yeah, yeah. But it is very cool. Very cool.
I
Yeah.
love the story. I love that the woman only wanted two part-time jobs and then had this incredible house that she got out of it too. That's awesome. So talk to us a little bit more about this whole dissolving waffles and how you take people through this.
So I'd like to talk about it, but it's even more powerful if we can do it. Are you game?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So the most important thing about this, Melissa, is that we use your words. So I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of questions, and I might take notes because taking notes is a good idea because I have to use your words. Hang on, I had a pen here. Here we go. So so if I say something and I ask you to repeat something, and you go, that's not true for me, or I wouldn't say it that way. Will you restate it in words that belong to you?
Sure.
Okay, so that's a good question. So tell me something that is negatively affecting you now that you're worried, anxious, fearful, frustrated, lethargic, exhausted, or stressed about.
So I would have to say that I want to take my business to the next level so that it is my main source of income. And that is stressful because there's a lot of work involved and learning curve.
Okay, and so when you think about taking your business to the next level and how stressful it is, from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes, where do you feel the stressful in your life?
I feel it more in my chest area.
In your chest. Okay. Okay. And from 0 to 10, where 0 is like, no big deal. I've seen other people that are successful. I can do this. And 10 is the most stress you've felt in your entire life. When you think about taking your business to the next level, where's your stress level?
It's probably a 7.
A 7. Okay. And can you recall the last time that you thought, I am so stressed because I've got to take my business to the next level? Can you recall something that happened, a thought that you had, a situation you were in, anything like that, an event?
Um, Probably when I was trying to restructure my website and try to come up with content for my website and deciding how I was going to price something and how I was going to develop programs, that was a little stressful.
Okay. 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 So what we're going to do, Melissa, is we're going to start without words first. Okay.
Okay.
I call it dissolving waffles, but other people may know it as tapping or emotional freedom technique or EFT.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start on the side of the hand, and are you familiar with tapping?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we can start on the side of the hand, and we'll just tap right there. So for those of you who are just listening and can't see the video, I'm going to be describing in detail what we're doing. So you can use your right hand and tap on the side of your left hand, or you can use your left hand and tap on your right hand. It doesn't matter. And we're going to do this first round without words. And then the next step is you're going to use one hand or the other or both, it doesn't matter, and tap on the top of your head. And then the next place we're going to do is right above the nose on the edge of your eyebrow and tap right there. Again, you can use your right hand or your left hand or both and tap there. The next spot is between the edge of your eye and your hairline, and you tap right there. Again, you can use one side or the other or both. And then the next place is where I store all my bags, right there under the eye. And you can use one hand or the other or both. And then we go to under the nose, right above the lips, and tap right there. And then above the lips, below the lips, above the chin. And then I like to have you cross your wrist and tap right on your chest, right on your collarbone. And then about 4 inches below your armpit. So go down on your ribs and give it a hearty tap. And then I usually have people blow all their air out in a cartoonish like fashion. It looks something like this.
That felt
okay.
Doing it, but also good. So.
Oh, good. Well, let's think about the stressful. Let's think about when you were trying to restructure your website and you were trying to figure out content and price and develop and doing all the development, and how stressful it is to take your business to the next level. And let's tap, and we'll repeat. If you'll repeat after me, and again, rephrase the words if I'm saying something that's not true for you. Even though I remember restructuring my website and how stressful it felt in my chest. Trying to decide on the content and the price. Right here, right now, I feel safe anyway. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's say it 2 more times. Even though I have all this stress in my chest. Just trying to get my business to the next level. I remember doing that website. Right here, right now, I feel safe anyway. Even though I remember working on the website and how stressful it feels on my chest. Right here, right now, I feel safe anyway. And then on top of your head, so stressful in my chest. On the edge of your eyebrow, so stressful in my chest. On the edge of your eye, this is so stressful in my chest. And then under your eye, so much stress in my chest. Under the nose, oh, I have so much stress in my chest. Under your lips, my chest is full of stress. Cross your arms on your collarbone. Oh, all of this stress in my chest. And about 4 inches below, my chest is full of stress. Now let's blow all your air out in a cartoonish fashion. So Melissa, when you think about when you were trying to restructure your website and figuring out content and price and development, the stress level from 0 to 10, where is it now?
Probably about a 4.
About a 4? And is it still in your chest?
I don't feel anything in my chest right now.
Can you identify where the stress is in your body?
Maybe more back here now, like top of my shoulders.
Back of your shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind doing it again?
No.
Okay, let's do it again. Oh, let me ask you, did anything else come up that was related, not related, have anything to do with things? It just kind of blew in your head and you're like, where did that come from?
Probably just that it's been a struggle my whole life just to kind of keep my head above water with finances, being a single mom and all of that.
Okay. So when you think about it's been a struggle your whole life, what emotions coming up?
It's a lot of fear.
Fear. 0 to 10?
Right now, it's probably about a 7.
A 7? And is that still in the back of your shoulders?
I feel that right here.
What do you call this?
Chest, I guess.
Your chest.
Upper chest, maybe.
Upper chest. Can we tap on that?
Sure.
Okay. Even though it's been a struggle my whole life. In fact, right now, I have all this fear in my upper chest just thinking about it. Right here, right now, I feel safe anyway. Even though I have all this fear in my upper chest. Right here, right now, I feel safe anyway. Even though I have this fear in my upper chest. Right here, right now, it's safe. And then top of your head. This fear in my upper chest. Edge of my eyebrow. This fear in my upper chest. Side of the eye. This fear in my upper chest. Under the eye. This fear in my upper chest. Under the nose. This fear in my upper chest. Under the lips. This fear in my upper chest. on the collarbone, this fear in my upper chest.
This fear in my upper chest.
And then under the arm, this fear in my upper chest.
This fear in my upper chest.
Blow all your air out.
It feels better.
From 0 to 10, where's the fear now?
It feels about a 4.
Okay. Did anything else come up? Related, not related?
I don't think so.
No. I hear the doggies. Do you want to do it one more time?
Sure.
Okay. So, this will be our final. Well, this will be our next to last because there is a little clearing away we'll do. Even though there's a little bit remaining.
There's a little bit remaining.
Right here, right now, I feel safe.
Right here, right now, I feel safe.
And then just go straight to the top of your head. There's a little remaining.
There's a little remaining.
Edge of the eyebrow. There's a little bit remaining.
There's a little bit remaining.
Side of the eye. A little bit remaining.
A little bit remaining.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Under the nose. A little bit remaining.
A little bit remaining.
And then under the lips. A little bit remaining.
A little bit remaining.
And then collarbone. A little bit remaining.
A little bit remaining.
And then under the arm. A little bit remaining.
A little bit remaining.
And then blow it out.
Yeah, that feels a lot better.
So now we do a clearing away. This is very quick. And it just kind of takes everything that we have left over, okay?
Okay.
So even though
there's
a little bit of stuff left around here that we haven't even touched on.
There's a little bit of stuff left around here we haven't even touched on.
There's waffles everywhere.
There's waffles everywhere.
But I can come back to them later if I want.
I can come back to them later if I want.
Or leave them right where they are. Because I'm in control. Right here, right now, I feel safe.
Right here, right now, I feel safe.
Even though
I'm
going to take all these little pieces.
I'm going to take all of these little pieces.
And I'm going to put them in a container.
And I'm going to put them in a container.
And I'm going to put the lid on it.
I'm going to put the lid on it.
And I'm going to throw it out the window.
I'm going to throw it out the window.
And when I'm ready,
I
can retrieve it.
Or
I can leave it out there. Because I'm in control. Right here, right now, I feel safe. And then top of your head. Good job, Melissa. Edge of the eyebrow. A lot of the numbers went down. And anything that's left over, I can deal with it later. Or I really don't have to. Because I'm in charge. A little bit left over. But it's out the window.
Very nice.
How's it feel?
A lot better.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Melissa, they have done scientific studies all over the world. This is a process that has been adopted in so many other countries before America has got it. And they have found that when they compare tapping to things like EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, and cognitive behavior therapy, which is talk therapy, they found that tapping is as effective as EMDR. However, the difference is with EMDR, you have to have a therapist in front of you because it may trigger a traumatic response. But with EFT, you can do it yourself. And that's what I got so excited about.
Yeah, I love EFT. I definitely recommend that for my clients all the time. It's amazing. And it takes such a little amount of time to make you feel better about something.
Right. Very quickly. Yeah. And it is complete. The studies show, I will share that I did 4 years of cognitive behavior therapy once a week. And there were a couple of things. I had a great therapist and I was so thankful. He made such a difference in my life. But he was also a businessman. So after 60 minutes, he'd be like, "Hey, we're all done." And I had brought up something traumatic and I'm crying and I'm a mess. I'm like, okay. And I'm trying to get myself back together. I got to go out the door. I got to go to work. And I'm like a mess. And with tapping, we can do that clearing away stuff that we did and kind of bring you back to a place of control. Yeah. The other thing is at my very last session, I said, "Oh, I feel so much better. I'm so glad I went through this. This is really great." He said, "Well, I just want to warn you, these things may come back. And I was like, what do you mean they may come back? And he was right. There, a few years later, there was a situation, and man, I was right back into the traumatic state. The nice thing about tapping is that the studies show that once you clear an issue, it does not come back. Now, having said that, I had a client, 6 foot tall, retired uh, veteran officer who was scared of spiders, and he reluctantly came to me. I said, okay, so what are you scared about? And he's like, I hate walking into their webs. And he was somebody who worked outdoors, so he's walking into the webs all the time. So I said, okay, let's clear that. So within a few rounds, we were able to clear it. And I saw him a few weeks later, and I said, so how's it going? He said, I hate spiders. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. I thought we cleared all this. He said, oh, I'm not afraid of walking into their webs anymore. He said, what I hate the way that they walk. It just gives me the creeps. So you can have a fear, anxiety, you can have a waffle around something, but you need to go through every aspect of it. It's just like I had one client who had claustrophobia and hated flying on planes. And for some people, there's all kinds of different reasons why they feel that way. And that's why it's important to use their own words. So we worked on it, and she was able to do her flight afterwards because of the tapping. And she also did the quick tapping, on the finger points to help her get through it while she was flying as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm doing training now in hypnotherapy.
Oh yeah, I love it.
And yeah, that's one of the things the lesson today was tapping, but also was about phobias and getting rid of phobias. And it was really funny because the instructor said sometimes the clients think that their phobia started from one situation, and then you take them back and they realize it wasn't that situation. There was an earlier moment that they didn't remember because it was earlier in childhood, because I think they said that the age that children really develop those phobias is from 1 to 4.
Yeah.
And they can up to age 7, but 1 to 4 is really like the target years where those imprints
Right.
really happen. And so the person thought he was afraid of spiders as well. And he thought that the incident was his stepbrother putting a spider down his back, and it wasn't like a fake spider. And it wasn't that. When he took him back through the hypnosis and said, go to the original story, it was a completely different story. It had nothing to do with the stepbrother, but his conscious mind was not aware of it. So I think it's amazing. I think many people probably deal with that. They think their money stories come from one place, and really it comes from another.
Exactly. And the best explanation I've heard of that is that, if you or I were in a building and it caught on fire, we'd know what to do. You call 911 and get the heck out. And if you're a teenager and caught on fire, you probably know what to do. If you were 10 years old, you probably know what to do. If you were 5 years old, you may or may not know what to do. But if you were 5 months old, you wouldn't have a clue what to do. And that's because our amygdala is driving our survival techniques, right? And so afterwards, when the amygdala says, hey, that was a dangerous situation, it has taken all of this information. What does it smell like? What does it look like? What does it taste like? Everything about it. So that when we're in something similar at 5, 10, 15, and as an adult, we go, hey, I'm feeling uncomfortable in this room and I don't know why. Well, it's the same color of wallpaper that I had when I was 5 months old and there was a fire. And I don't remember that, but I love that explanation because I was like, oh, I get that now, And so tapping is like calming down the amygdala and saying, you know what? I've got prefrontal cortex that's working now. I'm good.
I don't need to be fight or flight mode anymore. I can handle it. And
Right.
it's not a threat. Yeah.
Exactly. But it drives so much of our lives. It drives finances. It drives what our abilities are. It drives prosperity. It drives growth. It drives us because it's trying to keep us safe. That's the only thing it's trying to do.
Yeah. I love that. And we talk about that worked when we were younger, but when we get older, sometimes instead of keeping us safe, it keeps us stuck.
Yes, exactly.
We get in these fears and we can't get out of them. So I love that you're working with people to help them discover what it is that's really keeping them in the same patterns of behavior. I think it's so important to identify those
Yeah.
things and to really try to do that inner work.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. And it
Yeah.
sounds like you're having a lot of success with your
I'm
program.
having a lot of fun. And the people who are in the mastermind are having a lot of success. About 70% of the people in the mastermind sign up again because they have just, yeah, they love it. They love it. And I give a pretty substantial discount for people to come back again. And they love the group. In fact, one group's just said, okay, we don't want any new people. We're just going to stay together. I'm like, you can't do that, guys.
Click.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that true though? Humans, we don't like change too much.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being here with us and for sharing the example of the dissolving the waffle. I love that. And I'm never going to think of waffles in the same way ever.
Oh, Melissa, it's so exciting to be on your podcast. And I just love that you are affecting so many people and making such a difference in so many people's lives. I
Oh,
just really think that that's amazing. So kudos to you.
thank you. And same to you as well, because I tell you what, I know there are a lot of women out there who really have a hard time when it comes to looking at their finances, and it's really taking their power back and
Yeah.
understanding that what you kept saying to me during the tapping is I'm in control. And I feel like so many women don't think they're in control. They feel like they're out of control and they feel like everything just happens to them and they don't have any control over it. And so you showing them like, look, this is your power. Stand in your power. It's all up to you. I
Yeah.
love that. We
Yeah.
need more of that. So
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah.
for what you do.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Melissa. Mhm.
So if somebody wanted to join your 40-day growth and prosperity program,
Mhm.
to dissolve their own waffles, or if they just want to follow you or just see what it's all about, what's the best way for them to do that?
So my last name is Nall, Nall, and the name of my company is the word Nall added to the word edge, EDGE. So it becomes knowledge
I
company.
love that. I love that.
So if they go to my website, which is www.nall, knowledgecompany.com. And if they go under events, they can find out about the next upcoming 40-day growth and prosperity, which is going to be starting on Tuesday, March 23rd. They can always email me. My email address is hello@drnall.com. So it's HELLO@DRNALL.com. And they can call me. I'll challenge your listeners, Melissa. I give this out all the time and I'm waiting for people to call me. So my phone number is area code 772-226-0167. I'd love for you to call and chat and find out more. And I also am now a master trainer in tapping. For those who want to learn tapping for themselves, I have an upcoming training that's going to be on Thursday and Friday, April 15th and 16th. So I have all that going on.
That's awesome. And I love that you talk to people on the phone.
Sure.
I'm the same way. If somebody is like looking to work with me, I always say book a discovery call and we can sit and talk about what it is you're hoping to achieve. So I think that's so important because people have to know if they connect with your energy and if you guys vibe together. And so if you guys are on the fence or you just want some more information, just give her a call or email her and find out more about her awesome program. So I want to again thank you for being here. And this is something that I always do. I always ask my guests to leave some parting words of wisdom for our listeners at home. So if there were any piece of advice you could give them, what would that be?
So Melissa, I guess I'll give you advice that I wish I had taken myself. And that is to be brave enough and be strong enough to listen to yourself. Your intuition is given to you as a gift, and you may think it's from you. It may not be, but it's important to listen to yourself and trust your own intuition.
That is a great piece of advice. And I have found that doing the tapping helps you to tap more into your own
Yes.
intuition. Absolutely. Fabulous. Well, thank you so much again for being here with us. I so appreciate that.
I appreciate you, Melissa, and all that you're doing in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. And I appreciate all of you at home too. I want to thank you so much for listening to us today. As always, if you like this podcast, please subscribe. Please leave a positive review from wherever you're listening. And the greatest compliment you can pay me is to refer me to others. So if you share my podcast, I deeply appreciate it. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, I go live Mondays at 6:30 Central on Facebook where I do a free card reading. And if you show up for the
Yeah.
live, I'll pull a card especially for you. And if you want to work with me, you can go to my website, melissaoatman.com. There you'll see all the services I offer. You can book from my website. And all of my sessions are done online through Zoom, so you never have to leave the comfort of your own home. I hope that you guys are having a beautiful day from wherever you're listening. As always, I am sending you so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.